as far as family, again, we didn't really follow the rules. In the beginning, we did. We would FaceTime, and I had some younger cousins, so we would do coloring contests. So I would color a page, and then they would, and then we would all get together on FaceTime, and they would vote. People would vote who had the best coloring book page.
Oh, what a great way to handle that. Yeah, still engaging and still finding a way to be joyful.
Yeah, and then we would, we would decorate a cupcake, and so then the rest of the family would have to, vote who had the best looking cupcake. So little things like I remember we did a blind taste testing. So I was blindfolded, and then my older cousin was blindfolded, and both of our husbands had to find different things in the house to have us taste test, and then we had to guess what it was on the FaceTime with everybody.
That's very creative.
They were very brutal with it. He found hot sauce. He found relish. It was disgusting. But it made the little kids laugh, and we worried about them just because that's a big part. They're growing up, and this is a big part of their life, being so young, and they're not in school. They're learning online, and they're not with their friends. So we tried to do little things here and there to try to bring some sort of joy. Obviously, they like not being in school for the learning part of it, but. So I made the family pack everything in the back of their cars, and we got one of those fold-out tables, and we put it up to the building of the nursing home by his window. And so we all put up our chairs, and we had the food, and then we had the nurse bring food to him so he could be on the outside. So it kind of was like we were all having Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner together.
Wonderful.
And
wonderful way to do that.
Yeah, the nursing, they were at first, they're like, why? It's like 30 degrees out. Why? 20 degrees out. It's snowing. Why are you? And I'm like, he's not going to miss it. He's alive. He's not going to miss this. So they were really nice about it, not saying you can't, set up a tent here with chairs and a table. And so that part was nice. And at the time, he was 99, turning 100. And he was a military veteran. And he started the museum in Greenville. And that was his life. The military history, the museum, his time in service, all of it was just his life. And so I asked around, and I wanted to have a celebration for him. And obviously we couldn't have a normal one because of COVID, but I was able to get some military vehicles to do a drive-by. And then there were soldiers that came, and at first the nursing home said, we're not bringing them out. If they're in, they can't come out. And I said, I understand, I understand your rules. I completely get it. But you're bringing him out.
Please make an exception.
And so they said, okay, but you can't hug him. And I'm like if we show you we have our vaccines, if we have this documentation for if we take COVID tests, like can we hug him, because that's going to be really hard not to be able to hug him. And they said, nope, you can't hug him. And I said, okay. So I built a plastic hugging contraption because I was determined. So it was PVC pipe, and it had plastic clear, almost kind of like a shower curtain. And then it had holes. And they said, nope, no skin contact. And I'm like, I respect what you do. That's fine. So I made little arms, and so you could stick your arms in, and then you could go around and hug them. And at first he's like, what is this? And I'm like, we're gonna hug you. So we were all able to give him a hug. But at first they were very adamant that no one was allowed out. And I had a very hard time trying to be nice and also trying to get my point across that obviously everyone in the world is fed up right now with all of this and it's not their fault, but apart from me breaking it, like, you're gonna bring him out because it's his 100th birthday. He needs to be able to see what's happening. And so we had pizza, and the soldiers came up and they gave him, you know, they took a picture with him and they were able to shake his hand through, you know, the plastic contraption that I made.
He must have been so pleased to have the military there too.
He
That
was.
must have touched his heart.
Yeah, he was very pleased at that.
Sure.
Yeah. And people sent cards. We contacted different, he was very big in the Greenville community. And so people kind of reached out to others and said, hey, like, his birthday is on this date. Can you please send him a card? So he got a bunch of cards sent to him.
American Legion, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, and then once it was way too cold for him. So he was, after the vehicles had left and the soldiers had left, they wheeled him back inside, which, I mean, his birthday was in January. So it was snowing. It was like a snowstorm. They worried that the vehicles couldn't get there because of the snowstorm, like, in Lansing. And I'm like, so you're gonna get there and we're gonna make this happen because we've been planning this and we told him you would be there, so you need to be there. But it was just so weird because, you know, the previous birthday was just at the house and people brought gifts and there would be cake. And then he would be like, all right, I'm ready to go home. Like, take me home for my nap. And now you're trying to organize stuff and trying to talk with the hospital and make sure that, you know, not the hospital, but the nursing home, and make sure that they're going to get him out at the right time. And it was one of those things where I never thought would ever be an issue, was being able to go and see a family member to have a birthday. And
you went over the top. You made it happen. So you were very successful. Yeah, I'm sure the family all appreciated all your effort.
oh yeah, they were awesome. Like I said, we had pizza, and one of them brought pop and plates and gave them to the soldiers. And yeah, that's one of the things that I won't ever forget, because it was just, I was happy that he was able to see it,
Very
because
special.
He didn't make it to his 101st birthday, so that was his last birthday.
He died in 2021.
Yes. Yeah.